Cheers, pal, to the sharks.
To the sharks.
Let
it settle.
That is...
Let it settle.
Not just good, that is hot.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Meow.
Ooh, feel the burn, baby. Oh, God.
Feeling it somewhere.
I need a beer to wash down the fucking shit that we're drinking. Oh.
Are all of your beer cans also in frame?
I think I have one in frame.
I've just had the one, you know.
Alright. You don't have to drink the orange soda.
I don't mind that.
Push that over there. We did some work. Alright, oh no. Sorry, we're trying to get our drink situation sorted out. We had a little bit of a bumpy ride there for a minute.
Antifreeze.
Ugh.
Right.
Yeah.
What's up next?
So, next on the Jony Jawscast with special guest star Brian Calvé, we're going to be talking, we are continuing talking about Jaws the Revenge, i.e. Jaws 4, i.e. Jaws 3, because they've just fucking forgot about Jaws 3D.
Yeah, that one doesn't exist, apparently.
But continuing on with that, we're going to be talking about the differences between the film and the novelization. So the novelization is based on an earlier draft of the script, still very, very similar to the final product that is the film, but with some significant differences that really kind of change the whole meaning of the story and really explain a lot. And obviously there's a lot of character things that are fleshed out much better. All the characters are very where I would say in the film a lot of the characters are just not particularly likable or enjoyable.
Weak.
Yes.
Super weak.
Yeah. In the novel, they're all very likable, and they all are given a lot more to do and say, and you kind of I don't know, just it's just better. Like,
that's good. They needed some depth.
Yeah.
In the movie, it's that's one of the hardest things is that, man, everyone other than 2 or 3 people are just so weak.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even like Ellen is she's just a one-note character. It seems like she's just very like
scared and traumatized.
Yeah.
And that's just like the only thing she leans into.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been so much more.
Yeah, the way that the novel portrays her is obviously those things, but you get a lot more what's going on in the inside of her mind, and there's just more of a fulfilling story in the novel. Not only does she deal with shark stuff, but there is also not necessarily cartel stuff, but there's like gangster related things that take place, and a number of other things that like, and I mean you're currently reading the first Jaws book, and you've like seen maybe a little bit of the stuff that they reference where the mayor might have ties to the mafia and stuff like that.
Yeah, so. Where I'm at right now, Brody's like really pushing on Meadows to get some information.
Yeah.
And be like, who is pulling the strings here?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Why aren't we doing this?
Yeah.
In a, stronger scenario. But yeah, I'm like halfway into it. It's rad. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm super into it.
It's just such a fun, like, almost alternate universe, because the movie is infinitely better than the book, but
which I get.
But I would say that Jaws, in the Jaws franchise, the Jaws film, and I'm sure I'll say this again and again over the course of the rest of these podcasts, but Jaws is the exception in this, where I would say Jaws the Revenge and Jaws 2, both of the books are better than the movie.
Oh, all right.
So with that said, let's kind of take a stab at what some of the key differences are from the book versus the film. So in the book, Hoagie is actually a government agent, and he transports laundered money. So that is his. So flying the planes is like his cover thing.
Sure.
And that's kind of where the cartel stuff comes in, because he's like trying to like track. Again, it's been a minute since I've read the book, but there's like a whole thing I remember where like there's like guys like fucking shooting up beaches with Uzis and shit like this, and like he's trying to get like this main like he's trying to get this main like gangster dude, and there's this whole subplot with this, and it's actually really interesting. Damn. And so that explains like why Hoagie's there, like what he's doing, and that ties into like the finale of the film or the finale of the book rather, and everything. And so he is like this government agent, which is like how you kind of mentioned.
That makes so much more sense.
How you would want him to be like a sort of Indiana Jones character, and he
one of
really
the notes
is.
I had written down was, "Who the fuck is Hoagie?
Yeah.
Why is he a part of this?
Yeah.
Why is he the pilot? Why is he a character? Why is he this just fucking?"
There are multiple scenes in the book where like he's either at gunpoint or pointing a gun or trying to save Ellen from shit happening with this fucking gangster bullshit.
Okay.
Super cool.
That puts so much more depth.
Yeah.
Behind just his trashy fucking one-liners throughout the whole movie. That would have been.
There are a lot less less quips, but like with that in mind, you're like, all right, cool. Maybe I do buy some of his fucking stories, because if he's like an agent for the government, then he's been all over the fucking map.
Yeah.
And he's done a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, it pitches him so much in such a better light, or lack thereof. But I'm into it. Okay.
Stuff that we kind of originally already covered. Was that Jake dies in the book and is killed by the shark in the film, but the script was changed, which you kind of see a little bit of that in the
dead, obviously.
Yeah, it would make a shit ton more sense. In the novel, it is in the novel, it is heavily inferred that the shark is under the influence of a witch doctor who is in a feud with the Brody family.
Oh,
so this is my big thing where I'm like, okay, the book takes a leap.
It does.
But this leap makes sense of all the things that do not make sense in the movie.
Yeah.
Everything. Every single thing, you're like, all right, cool. It's a leap. It's insane, but it is no more insane than what we see in the film. So.
Yeah, that tracks along with her sixth sense. It tracks along with the fact that it's only stalking them.
Yes, and this is the big thing. So this is again from Wikipedia. This is an excerpt from Wikipedia. The shark's apparent revenge has magical implications. Taken from earlier drafts of the screenplay, the shark is directed by a voodoo curse laid by Papa Jacques, a Haitian witch doctor. The film scholar IQ Hunter explains, the revenge of the title is therefore Papa Jacques and not the shark's, which entirely changes the story's meaning. The shark is compelled by stranger forces than a man could ever understand, is an instrument of post-colonial revenge. This also explains the strange psychic connection Ellen and the shark have with each other. The plot was deleted as it strayed too far away from the plot of The Killer Shark. However, at one point in the theatrical version, Michael Brody says, "Come on, sharks don't commit murder. Tell me you don't believe that, voodoo."
Forgot about that
in
line.
the book, there's this witch doctor that has a problem with Michael Brody, and I honestly don't remember what it is, what the problem is.
But he has been working in the Bahamas for a while, so.
But yeah, he's in the Bahamas, and it's this whole thing, and there's this whole witch doctor thing, and Ellen experiences some harassment from him, and all this stuff.
Okay.
And then, like, reading it, I remember reading it and going, oh my god. Like, I don't remember this in the movie. Is this in the movie? Because if this is in the movie, then
nope.
it checks out. Like, I get it. And I was like, I don't think it is. Nope. I don't think it's in the movie. And I was like, that's what it is. Like, it's obscene. It's crazy. But I was like, that explains how you get the shark from the fucking New England to the Bahamas. Yeah. Like, that explains it. And I think it goes...
You would think.
It goes on even further to say the novel also explains that the shark doesn't know why it's doing the things it does. And...
Oh, poor baby.
Also, this is me here saying that if I remember correctly, and I don't entirely, but I'm pretty goddamn sure that the book implies that this shark is the offspring of the first two sharks, because in Jaws 2, in the book, it's a female.
Oh, that's right.
And it says that at some point the female in this book met up with the shark from the first book. It's a little ridiculous, sure. But also at the same time, you're like, all right, we've bought into it this far. Why not? You know?
Why the fuck not?
So that's one of the things you're like, all right, cool, whatever. Yeah. Like we're down this dumb road, but
lean into it. Why not?
But that does so much to explain why this fucking shark would travel all this way, why the shark is hunting the Brodies specifically.
Sure.
Whereas the movie seems to suggest that it's just great whites out to eat the Brodies because one Brody killed a great white two great whites rather many moons ago.
Because we're now speculating. I mean, we're saying from the first movie, that this was what we guesstimated 20 years
roughly.
difference to the Revenge movie,
based strictly on like how old Sean is.
Exactly, and we're guesstimating that the shark from number 2, who had met up with the shark from number 1, mated, created a baby, and then 20 years later is now this shark in the Revenge, which size-wise checks out. I mean,
at the very least,
maybe
monster shark meets monster shark.
Yeah, right. You assume, some monster genes pass.
Yes.
On, you get, another monster-ass shark that's hungry for some Brody blood. As the story goes, apparently. Throw some voodoo magic in there, and it's, it knows who it wants.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
It's like a dirty, like, trash novel.
Sure.
But, the novel knows what it is, and it knows, like, God, if they had stuck with that script, like, if they had gone that route, like, I know this is not your wheelhouse, but, like, if anyone's made it this far in the podcast, good for you. But for any of my horror fans, like, this would be like a Halloween 3 scenario where it is so bombastic and so not like Halloween 3 is the only, for those of you who don't know, and specifically Brian, Halloween 3 is the only Halloween movie that does not feature Michael Myers, and is because they were trying to do something completely different. But like at the time, people hated it, but now it's really like it's like a fan favorite. Cool. And I feel like if you had stuck with that sort of like, all right, cool, we're off the rails. This is voodoo magic bullshit, and you have like fucking gangsters in here and doing stuff like that.
Lean into it.
If you had stuck with that, yes, it would not be quite what Jaws was before, but it would be better than what you fucking put out. If you had stuck with that, I guarantee you Jaws the Revenge would be a fan fucking favorite now.
Yep.
Like, it would be something that people are like, dude, this is fucking balls to the walls.
Yeah.
Crazy bullshit.
It would have had that cult following.
Yes.
Because you got to take that leap, though.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, and they, quote unquote, played it safe, which led to
shit.
Yes.
Trash.
Hot
bullshit.
Garbage.
Yeah.
The hottest garbage.
It's like we talked about all those movies you've been buying. Like, we could, quote unquote, call them trash horror.
Yes. 80s trash horror.
80s trash horror. Like, it's, it had, like, just so much potential.
Yeah.
Had they just leaned into what it could have been instead of just playing it safe. And
I mean,
biting the bullet.
Yeah, and
which is a bummer, but,
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I mean, the thing with the book is there's a shit ton more shark attacks too. A lot more people die in the book than it does in the movie, and that's one of the things that just makes this movie so weak. Is that just
it needed that.
Yeah.
I feel like the people. Well, what it killed like one other person on accident going for a Brody.
Yeah.
And missed on the stupid banana boat. That was the only other. That was Sean.
So 2 kills.
And that poor chick.
Yeah.
Because technically Jake lives. Which is fucking stupid.
You're
nonsense.
not gonna let this go.
I won't. It's fucking ridiculous. That's fucking stupid. That guy's dead. And my heart and my soul and Michael Caine are fucking dead. 4 deaths. He didn't get out of the fucking plane. It's bullshit. He's not fucking Rambo. Alright. I don't care what the book says. I didn't read it. In the movie, it's bullshit.
Okay. So from this point, now knowing what we know about the novelization and how personally I feel like it improved if they what that storyline. I feel like it legitimately improved that storyline. Characters are more likable, things make more sense regardless of how fantastical they are.
In the book you're talking
yes,
about? Yes,
in the book.
Okay.
Definitely more balls to the walls, batshit craziness, but in the realm of the story that they are telling, things make sense versus the movie that we have where nothing makes sense and things are so implausible and so nothing makes sense. No. You know, I can't stress that enough. Obviously,
Swiss cheese.
What with what we have, like the film that we have, what would you have changed? What would you have done just to improve Jaws: The Revenge? Like, what would your thoughts for making that better have been?
You know, I don't think they should have leaned so heavily into, you know, the voodoo and the cartel thing. Maybe that a little bit, but they needed a strong role. And I'm not saying that couldn't have been Ellen Brody. I think they made her too traumatic and too scared.
Too unstable, basically.
Yeah, I think she could have taken a more hefty role. I think she could have turned into such a badass and just, challenged it more rather than being like, no one get in the water. I think she could have stepped up into it. And if she didn't, I think they should have pulled that from the book and made Hoagie a much cooler role.
Yeah.
I think he could have played something way more badass, way less, patronizing, digging for the gal kind of role,
yeah.
like incognito pilot.
Yeah, in the book, he definitely has his gambling thing, but his gambling thing is also, part of his undercover work.
Yeah.
Too, which is really cool because, the gangster that he's trying to...
Yeah. You cast Michael fucking Caine.
Yeah.
He could have played a fucking killer role.
Yeah.
And you kind of made him a bitch. That's one of the big issues I had with the movie. I'm like, man, you have this killer fucking guy. He's clearly the lead role next to the lead singer of the fucking Bee Gees. Use him. He could have fucking owned this shit. And if anything, brought Ellen Brody along with him. Yeah. And they would have had, two killer roles. Yeah, Michael, he's in there. He has to be. Sean's dead. Michael's the next target. Yeah. Hypothetically, whatever. All the Brodies are a target. But he's the one who's in the water. It's going to be a fucking scene. But you could have had some, lead drive in there. It was more just, traumatic experience all piling up on each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. It needed some weight to it, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
Rather than just being so afraid and, caught off guard the whole time. I feel like if they really wanted to lean into it, it could have been more of, not an attack, but, fucking... how many times are we going to do this dance? Stand your ground.
Yeah.
Shark.
I think that... I think that just character development should have taken a little bit more of a thing, things with Michael's family being put in jeopardy again. In the book, I think his wife is in danger at one point, so from gangster sort of stuff that happens on the island. So you are concerned about these characters, because you have the scene where Thea's on the banana boat, and you're like, well, this kid's just kind of in almost an annoying presence.
Yeah,
she's fucking talking about how Uncle Sean's dead and if he's gonna come back and shit like that, and it's like a weird thing where you're like, well, why do I care about this character? And then, you know, his wife, like, she's just this character who's there, and her one moment of real, genuine, like, heart is when her daughter is in peril and she's just screaming on the beach. She's not racing after her child
she's like knee deep in the ocean, if that, and just freaking the fuck out.
Yeah. And I feel like those sorts of things, like, you could have punched that up to like really, you know, make people care about your characters, because if you don't care about your characters and the fact that they're in jeopardy, and I mean, I never feel like, regardless of the fact that Sean gets killed in the fucking first 5 minutes of the movie, like, whenever Michael is in jeopardy, I never feel fear for his safety.
No.
I would have just, I definitely would have shown the shark less. They show the shark so much that it
You're desensitized.
Almost, it becomes like comical.
It's the best part about the first film, is that you don't see it for so long. When you do, it's these quick flashes of like a little bit of a fin or a little bit of like the side of its head, and it's like, that's what's scary about it.
Well, and I mean, even the shark design itself is horrifying. Like, the shark in the original Jaws is fucking
that model
scary,
is
dude.
Wild.
Yeah. It's, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a natural shark.
No.
But at the same time,
way they shoot it.
It is scarier than hell.
Oh, it's traumatizing.
We've talked about this. Like, I would have never wanted to be in the water with that animatronic. Yeah. Never in a million years.
No. Ever. It's huge.
Yeah.
Just shooting those scenes alone. If it was in a fucking pool, I'm still scared of a normal pool. Yes. Because in the back of your head, because of Jaws,
there's a shark in there.
There could be a shark in this pool.
Yeah.
This deeply just saturated chlorine pool. It doesn't matter. There's probably a 25-foot great white shark in there. Because I haven't looked behind me in 4 seconds.
God damn it. That's
what Jaws
most real thing
did to the world.
Yeah.
That's why it's such a great film.
Yeah.
And then The Revenge came out, and they just show you the whole thing, you know, tits out, and you're desensitized immediately.
Yeah.
That's the best part about the first film, is that you barely get these glimpses of it. And the scariest thing is what you can't see. Yeah. And that's what's scary about the ocean, is that you don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, and that's why it's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's why Jaws is amazing. Because you can't see it, and when you do, it's just these little glimpses, because it's this fucking monster apex predator.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, how it runs its fucking game. And then you go to The Revenge, and it's just like out there like waist deep, growling and pumping its way through the water, and you're like, alright, I'm not really fucking scared of this thing. Like I said, like, Universal Studios could have dunked that VW bus of an animatron in the ocean. I'd be more afraid of it. Just mechanically, I'd be more afraid that it would physically hurt me.
Just like, that thing would fucking ram you.
Yeah, they run that thing God knows how many times a day. Like,
and that shit
mechanically
never quits.
sound, it would probably kill me. The one in The Revenge is like some paper mache thing, and I think, you know, it is what it is. The way they shot that is just painful.
Yeah.
In a different sense. Like, in a very weak sense. And yeah, it's not, it doesn't hit that fear factor.
Yeah. That
it should. And I know that they were going for shock and awe and whatnot, but man,
did they miss the mark.
And they could have killed it.
Yeah.
For lack of better terms. But, you know. Damn.
What, now, let's put yourself in a filmmaker frame of mind. You're You got your script.
Yikes.
You're gonna go meet the executives. You're feeling very good. You've worked on this for a long time.
I don't. I hate scripts. Make me uncomfortable.
And I know they do. You got a lot of lines to memorize too.
Yeah, I hate it.
And you come to the executives. It's fucking Steven Spielberg, and he's like, well, why do you think that you have a good pitch? And you're like, well, here is my pitch for Jaws 4. We're not doing the revenge. We're this is what we're gonna do instead. What is your pitch for Jaws 4?
Ooh.
What do you do instead?
I found this on the web.
Fucking Siri, you crazy bitch.
She's got my back.
She got a whole pitch for Jaws 4.
Yeah.
This is what the internet suggests is better than the Jaws: The Revenge.
Oh man. I gotta think about it.
I mean, personally, I think we already talked about this. I would scrap the Brody family. It definitely would have nothing to do with the Brodies.
No.
Goddamn, you could, dude. Jaws doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to be just. That's the great thing about Jaws. Like, it's a name. It's a title for a set of teeth.
Yep.
A set of teeth in the ocean.
I love that.
It can be about a great white. It could be about a tiger shark. It can be about a bull shark. It could be about a fucking megalodon.
That should be your fucking slogan. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
You could make it about any type of shark that you want it to be. Obviously, there's nothing that's ever going to be better than that fucking poster right there. That is perfect.
Yep.
But
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you don't need to try and recreate the wheel.
Mm-mm.
They knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
That cast, that story, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't try and fix something that's not broken.
Yeah.
It's not like there were any flaws here that we needed to exploit to try and make the revenge.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be about the Brody family. It could have been about just Amity in general. It could have been about a different beach.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. I mean...
Well, again, this is like kind of what we mentioned earlier is that, had they kind of taken a different route and made it about anything, any sort of scenario.
Yep.
Almost a, oh God, what's the term? Sort of, where it's just different stories.
Yeah.
And you just put it under the Jaws label.
Sure.
And it's just...
Yeah, you could parallel it with whatever.
Yeah, it's just, there's a shark and it's killing people and you need to do something about it.
Yeah.
You take that sort of scenario and you put it into any film, you have a story there, regardless of if it's a beach, regardless of if it's a sinking boat.
Right.
If it's, fucking, I don't know, like a oil like thing where they're pulling oil out of the ocean.
Oil rigs. Yeah.
Yeah, like you just
cool.
Put that sort of
that'd be rad
scenario, and you roll with that, and you just put a shark in it that creates conflict.
Yep.
And then you just put Jaws.
Yeah.
Colon, whatever you want.
Right.
And
I love that, like, in the book, they, like, they put more depth into it. I like that they, they flesh out more characters. There's a different depth to, what Hoagie's doing. The connection with the voodoo thing. The connection with Ellen Brody. Sure, that's all, fun and whatnot. That's rad. But I feel like, as far as the movie went, it didn't need the Brodies.
No.
That family did its thing. And the fact that they just, like, strung it so hard down this thin, like, razor thin line.
Yeah.
Of just, like, they throw his picture in at the station. And then one line they mentioned that he died from a heart attack. Yeah. Not from a shark.
Yeah. Well, but it was the fear of the shark that killed him.
Sure. And it's just like, it's so, they're just, man, just squeezing every little ounce that they can get out of, like, this one little family.
Yeah.
That didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
The whole thing could have still been in the Bahamas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it also could have, sure, called a great white. Who gives a shit? Call it the Bahamas. That's a fucking anomaly on its own.
Yeah.
That's what the whole fucking movie's about. There shouldn't be a fucking great white in the Bahamas.
Beautiful. Right there.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah, it's huge. There are other sharks, by the way, in the Bahamas.
Yes. I'm
pretty sure, bull sharks are like fresh and saltwater.
Yes.
That's its own fucking movie in its own.
And they're
terrifying.
They are the most aggressive animal on the
have you ever
planet.
seen a fucking picture of a bull shark?
Yeah, they have more testosterone than any other living creature on the planet. So
terrifying.
Yeah.
All sharks terrify me.
Yeah.
For the record, but man, the fact that they can switch.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah. Don't enjoy yourself.
Fucking Jaws 8.5. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Use a bull shark. That's mind blowing. That's crazy. It's terrifying. It didn't have to be about the Brodies. It didn't have to be about Amity. You could have used the Bahamas all day long. You could have used 38 days. You could use fucking 138 days. I don't give a shit. Do it better. Use more shredded newspaper in your paper mache. A little more articulation in that tail would have gone a long ways. Literally any
more articulation in the tail than the nose. You see the nose always constantly the thing's fucking on a constant vibration.
Yeah, it can't handle the G-force of going to the water. Thing's disintegrating. Good God.
All right. So, your final thoughts on Jaws: The Revenge. What would you rank it? Would if someone was going to say, "Hey, I'm really curious about Jaws: The Revenge. Should I watch it?" Like, what do you tell these people? I want to know.
Oh fuck. Or on a scale of 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
All right. And this is someone who's never seen it and wants to see it.
Sure, they're curious about watching it.
Fuck. I'd want to make sure they've seen the first one, maybe the second. The third is what it is. Sure. I would tell them to fucking watch it. This is a Jaws franchise we're talking about. If you're gonna watch one, and if you're gonna watch two, you might as fucking well watch it in 3D, and then call whatever you want The Revenge 4 or 3.
Yeah.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Seal the deal.
At that point, you're fucking halfway through.
If you've only seen one,
cool. That's all you need to see. Yeah.
Just stop. Consider yourself better than most of us. If you've already seen 2, fucking bite the bullet. Watch them all. It is what it is. I'm not going to rate it fucking very high because it's trash. But I fucking love trash. I will never discount any trash movie because I think they're fucking stupid fun. And
well, yeah, that's the thing that, like, did we not enjoy watching this movie together?
Exactly.
I would say that it is definitely, and I mean, this goes back to what do we read, like, in the Wikipedia thing, that is, like, in the 100 most enjoyably bad movies, like, sort of a deal, from the Rotten Tomatoes or Golden Raspberries thing.
Yeah.
Or Razzies, whatever the fuck.
No, you got it.
There's the alcohol right there.
No, you sounded good.
But yeah, man, we fucking had fun watching it.
I do. I love watching stupid shit like that. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
If someone asks me, oh man, I've seen Jaws 1, should I fucking jump into the revenge? I'd say, fuck no. Don't watch that trash. It's bullshit. They're like rated on 1 to 10. I'd be like, fucking -2. It's hot garbage. You've only watched the first one, fucking consider yourself lucky. If they've watched the other ones, they'd be like, yeah, sure, watch it. You probably should to just respect the garbage.
Yeah.
And I'd still probably rate it a 2.
Yeah. I think that a 2 out of 10 is on par.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say it's between 1 and 3, kind of depending on.
Sure. I'll give it a 2.5 because Michael Caine's in there. But
yeah. And
maybe a 2.7 if you really want to count
that
Gibbs.
scene with Michael underwater.
Sure.
Like being chased, like, I mean, maybe it's the 2018 recut with the CG that's really
so
kind of
much better. It's
really selling me
really
on that.
Frustrating.
But I mean, again, like you watch it in a scenario like this, so much fun. You can rip on it, you can have fun, you can talk shit with your friends.
Oh yeah.
If I wouldn't if I was like to watch it like to watch it by yourself and just like try and get through it, like smoke some fucking weed and pop as much popcorn as you think you can eat, because like that's what's really gonna
that'll get you through the red.
Yeah, because goddamn, it is a hot piece of garbage. A hot piece of 80s trash.
I still love it.
Right on the cusp. 89, baby. Or
when you watch the ending and you really hate it, watch the alternate ending and you'll maybe hate it a tiny bit less.
Yeah, I would agree that the alternate ending, and if you watch the revised edition of the Michael underwater chase with the shark, like that, you can see what could have been. As far as that shark is concerned, it
kind of ruins the whole movie, though.
Yeah, it really does, because you're like, oh, fuck! It could have been so much better.
That 2018 CGI is
fucking whatever it is.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a 2.5.
Yeah. 2.5 is good.
All around 2.5.
Yeah, I think
just ballpark it.
I think I'm right at a 2, just because
that's fair.
The OG is so.
And you didn't recognize Barry Gibbs. That's fine. That's where the 0.5 comes in. So
yeah, I don't listen to nearly enough Bee Gees, so
you should.
Yeah, that would be my takeaway from this, is that I need to listen to more of the Bee Gees.
We're gonna roll credits with the Bee Gees, though.
Yeah, I just feel like we might get not the. I would say that we get a copyright thing, but I don't think enough people listen to it, so we might actually be able to get away with it.
Yeah.
So the next film that we're gonna review for this series is gonna be Jaws 3D. We're going to go backwards.
It's coming right at you.
We're going to try and end on a high note with Jaws. Again, I'm not sure what we can really bring to the table with that, but we're going backwards. So we will be doing Jaws 3D, and then Jaws 2, and then Jaws. I think Jaws 3D is going to be a lot of fun, because it does hit that mark of...
It's so stupid.
It's dumb, but it's not... It's still fun, and there's still some good stuff in it, and there's
different kind of dumb.
Yeah, it is definitely a different kind of dumb. So I'm really looking forward to watching that with you and doing a podcast on that. Before we wrap things up, Brian, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on social media, where they can reach out to you if they're interested to talk with you and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, if you want to talk to me more about my disdain for Michael Caine in this movie, it's Calvert Illustrations, CALVERT. That is my Instagram handle. You'll probably find it plugged in all sorts of stupid ass shit we do here on the Jony Horror Show. So, you know.
Yeah, baby.
My face is all over that world. So, pretty easy to find. But, yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
Just fucking doing our thing. Shooting the shit and drinking beers and talking about trashy horror movies, a.k.a. Jaws of Revenge.
Hell yeah.
Fuck.
Fucking love it.
God, Michael Caine, you're better than this. So much better than this. Oh.
And you can find me, Johnny Maresca, at the Jony Horror Show and at the Jony Horror World on the old Instagram and the Jony Horror Show at on Twitter. I don't really use that, but every now and then you get something fun on there. And check out our stuff on YouTube, because all of our videos that we put out, all of our stuff for the Jony Horror Show, actual like web series, is on YouTube, and along with all the Jony Horror reviews and episodes of the Jony Horror podcast as well. But yeah, this has been it's been a fucking lot of fun. B-Rye, I appreciate you being on here. I'm looking forward to the next one. And
fuck yeah.
For everyone who sat through and listened to all our fucking ramblings and bullshit, we appreciate you.
Yeah,
and
thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll fucking...
We take payment in beer,
yeah.
FYI.
And tequila.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, tequila too.
Lots of that.
You know.
So, we will see you guys on the flip side, and Alan! I have your Christmas card! Alan!